Good evening, viewers. This evening's performance of Quarantine Shakespeare's Macbeth will commence in around 5 minutes. So grab your snacks, grab your drinks, grab your pets, strap in, and enjoy the show. Honored patrons of this digital theatre, this evening's production of Quarantine Shakespeare's Macbeth will start in roughly 2 minutes. So you've still got just enough time to do that last pee break, but then you better be back here or you are going to miss out.
Hello.
Good evening. In case you're wondering who us beautiful creatures are, I'm Sarah Lawrence.
And I'm Alex Nolan.
And we are the producers and directors of this digital production of Quarantine Shakespeare. It's lovely to see you all here.
Yeah, it's very nice that everyone has attended this evening. So, it's May 2020, and I'm sure I don't need to tell you all this, but we are in the midst of a pandemic. And I wish that was fiction, but alas, it isn't. In our quarantine madness, we decided to put on a play to feel the camaraderie and togetherness that only that can really bring. Doing a play over video call, are we mad? Yeah, probably. But that's never stopped us before.
There have, of course, been some necessary tweaks and changes to translate a play off the stage and into all of your homes all over the world. I've just seen someone tuning in from Mexico, which is amazing. But luckily, we are fortunate that Shakespeare's plays and his language naturally kind of lends itself to this a lot of exposition by its nature. Originally written for dim playhouses that badly lit with bad audience view. So we're quite fortunate that the source text lends itself to this kind of performance. We have had to make a few additions, of course, to make up the rest. For example, we've made great use of Hecate, Queen of the Witches. So you'll be seeing a lot more of her guiding and narrating the mischief of all her subjects. This also obviously means, so in this strange time and via this very novel medium of Zoom, there are going to be technical glitches. There are going to be little blemishes in the work, and that's just fine. It's all part of the fun.
So, we present to you Macbeth, edited by the two of us, a well-worn dramatic partnership. There are links below if you want to donate to our fundraiser. So we hope you enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show. Without further ado, we present Macbeth.
Macbeth.
What saucy tale is this? Aye, assorted mischief to be had on Scotland. Man is but a prey to temptation, and driven to distraction upon a hint at his supposed glory. The sickness blushes crimson on thine hand, thy dagger, and there the trick is won. What is done cannot be undone.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the early burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
Oh, what bloody man is that? He can report, as seemeth by his plight, of the revolt the new estate.
My liege, this is the sergeant, who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend. Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that cling together and choke their art. For brave Macbeth, well, he deserved that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution, like Valor's minion, carved out his passage till he faced the slave. He never shook hands, nor bade farewell to him, until he enseamed him from the nave to the chop and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Oh, valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
As whence the sun gins his reflection, ship-racking storms and direful thunder breaks, from whence that spring which comfort seemed to come, discomfort swells. Oh, Mark, King of Scotland, Mark, no sooner justice had, with valour armed, compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the way lords, surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Oh, dismayed this not our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
Oh, yes, this Sparrow's eagle or hare the lion. If I say sooth, I must report there was cannons overcharged with double cracks and double strokes upon the foe. Except, they meant to bathe in reeking wounds or memorize another Golgotha, I cannot tell. Oh, but I'm faint. My gashes cry for help.
So well thy words become thee as thy wounds. They smack of honour both. Go, get him surgeons. Oh, who comes here?
'Tis the worthy Thane of Ross.
Oh,
Father, I shall take my leave of you and go on ahead.
yes, yes. Oh, what a haste looks through his eyes. So should he look that seems to speak things strange.
God save the king.
Whence comest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that Bellona's bridegroom, lapped in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against point, rebellious arm against arm, and to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Oh, great happiness.
That now Sweno, the Norway's king, craves composition, nor did we deign him burial of his men till he dispersed at St. Combs Inch $10,000 to our general use.
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go, pronounce his present death, and with his former title greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he have lost, noble Macbeth have won.
Sister, where hast thou been?
Kill him, swine.
Sister, where thou?
A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I, a right bewitched, the ramp-fed Runyon cries. Her husband's to Aleppo gone, master of the tiger. But in a safe foul thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do and I'll do.
I'll give thee a wind.
Not kind.
And I another. A drum, Macbeth doth come.
Dear sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land.
Thus do go about, thrice to thine and thrice to mine.
And thrice again to make up 9, peace the charms wound up.
Sisters, hide!
Oh, shit.
So fair and foul a day I have not seen. How far is the call to Forres?
My lord. Bees! So withered and so wild in their attire that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it. Oh, live you, or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me. By each should once her skinny finger laying at once upon her choppy lips. You should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you're so.
Speak if you can. What are you?
Hail to thee, Macbeth! Hail, Thane of Glamis!
Oh, hail, Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail, Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter.
Macbeth, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? You apparitions, my noble partner you greet with the present grace of great prediction, of noble having, and of royal hope that he seems wrapped withal. To me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg your favor nor your hate.
Hail!
Hail!
Lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail!
Yea, imperfect speakers, and tell me more. By Sinel's death I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be of Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting? Speak, I charge you.
They vanished. Oh, the earth has bubbles, and these are of them.
Into the air, and what seemed corporal has melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed.
Were such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
Who shall be king?
And Thane of Cawdor too, went it not so?
To the self-same tune and words. But who's here? Ross, Angus, worthy thanes, what tidings?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success, and when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight, his wonders and his praises do contend, which should be thine or his. As thick as tale came post with post, and everyone did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defence, and poured them down before him.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee.
And for an earnest of a greater honour, he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which it hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What, can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why must you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Treason's capital confessed and proved have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Ross, Angus, thank you for your pains. Banquo, do you not hope that your children shall be kings when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promise no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange. And oftentimes, to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles to betray us in deepest consequence. Ross, Angus, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told as happy prologues to the swelling act of this imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me an earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock against my ribs, against the use of nature. Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder is yet but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is what is not.
Gentlemen, look how our partner's wrapped.
If chance will have me king, why, chance may crown me without any stir.
New honors come upon him, like our strange garments cleave not to their mold, but with aid of use.
Come what may, time and honor runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay only upon your leisure.
Oh, give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered, where every day I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king. Banquo, think upon what hath chanced, and at more time the interim having waited, let us speak our hearts to each other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Oh, come, friends.
Come thither, my sons. Oh, and Lennox. Is execution done on Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back. But I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that, very frankly, he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it, it would seem.
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust.
Highness?
Oh, worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now was heavy on me. Thou art so far before that swiftest wing of recompenses are slow to overtake thee. Would thou hast less deserved, than the proportion both of thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I have left to say, more is thy due, and more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labour to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, that hast no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee, and hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, your highness, the harvest is all your own.
Oh, my plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose places are the nearest, know that we will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, which honour must not unaccompanied invest him only, but signs of nobleness, like stars, will shine on all deservers. From hence, Macbeth, to Inverness, and bind us forever to you.
The rest is labour which is not used for you. I'll bring myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach, so humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
The Prince of Cumberland! Now that is a step on which I must fall down or else overleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires, and let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye wink at the hand, yet let that be what the eye fears when it is done to see.
Oh, true, worthy Banquo. He is full so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him whose care is gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
Hi, Lady Macbeth. Ere the day is done, foul seeds spring dancing forth from the page, and lodge inside thine mind's I.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the Perfect's report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me and referred to me as the coming of all time, with the king that shalt be. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet I do fear thy nature. It's too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. Hie thee hither that I may pour my spirits in thine ear and chastise with the valour of my tongue all that impedes from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is thy tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who, were it so, would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who, almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than would make up his message.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse that croaks. Fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, ye spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here and fill me from the crown to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctuous visitings of nature shake fell my purpose, nor keep peace between the effect in it. Come thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold! Hold. Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favour forever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
See our honoured hostess. The love that follows us is sometime our trouble, which still we thank as love. Herein I shall teach you to bid God ild us for your pains and thank us for your trouble.
All our service in every point twice done and then done double were poor and single business to contend against these honours deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the heels and had a purpose to be his purveyor, but he rides well. With his great love, sharp as a spur, to have helped him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs themselves and what's in theirs comped to make their audit at your highness's pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. conduct me to mine host. We love him highly, and shall continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with a surcease success, that but which this blow might be the be-all and end-all here. But here, on this bank and shoal of time, we'd jump the life to come. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed, and then as his host, who should against the murder shut the door, not bear the knife itself. Besides, Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in great office that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued, against the deep damnation of his taking off. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which overleaps and falls over the other.
He is almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which should now be worn in their newest gloss, and not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time, such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be in the same in thine own act and valour as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou live a coward in thine own esteem?
Prithee, peace, I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be much more than what you are, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and I know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as to you to have done this.
If we should fail,
We fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his two chamberlains I shall imbue with wine. When in a swinish sleep their drenched natures lies as in a death. What cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy offices who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth and children only, for thy undaunted mettle shall compose nothing but males. But will it not be received when we have marked with blood the sleepy two of his own chamber and used their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our griefs and clamour roar upon his death.
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
Oh, there's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword, who's there?
A friend.
What, sir, not yet at rest? The king is abed. He hath been in unusual pleasure and sent forth great largesse to your offices.
Being unprepared, our will become the servant to defect, which else should free have wrought.
All's well then. I dreamt last night of the Weird Sisters. To you, they have showed some truth.
Oh, I think not of them. Yet when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some time upon that business, if you would grant it the time.
At your great kindest leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent when 'tis, I shall make an honor for you.
And so I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and my allegiance clear. I shall be counselled.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. And the like to you.
Is this a dagger which I see before me, the handle toward my hand? Come and let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from a heat oppressed brain? I see thee yet in form as palpable as which now I draw. Thou marshallest me the way I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fools of other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade in dungeon with gouts of blood, which was not there before. There's no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now over the one half world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep, and witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark, peace. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there? What? Who?
Alack, I'm afraid they have awaked, and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark, I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it.
I have done the deed. Did thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry.
Oh, this is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say, a sorry sight.
There's one that did laugh and sleep, and one cried, murder! But they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep. One cried, God bless us, and amen to the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands, listening to their fear. I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
Wherefore could I not say amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth doth murder sleep. The innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, sore labor's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nature's second curse, and chief nourisher of life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, "Sleep no more." To all the house, "Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more."
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go, get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring these daggers from the place they must lie there? Go, carry and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
"I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think on what I have done. Look on it again, I dare not."
Infirm of purpose. Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt. God's sakes.
What is that knocking? How is it with me that every noise appalls me? What hands are you? Ah, they pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash out this blood clean from my hand? No, my hand will rather the multitudinous seas in Cardinine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your colour, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark, more knocking. Go, get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not to know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking, I would thou couldst.
Oh, here's a knocking indeed. If a man were a porter of a hellgate, he should have old turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who is there in the name of the Beelzebub? Yeah, knock, knock, knock. Faith, here's an English tailor come hither, stealing out of a French hose. Come in, dear tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Anon, anon. I pray you, remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were drinking till the second cup, and drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir. Sleep, nose painting, and urine. Lechery, sir, it both provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but takes away the performance. Therefore, lechery may be said to be much an equivocator with drink.
Is thy master stirring? Our knocking has awakened him. Here he comes. Be gone with you, Potter.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I've almost slipped the oar.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labour we delight in physics pain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
It goes the king against today.
He does. He did appoint so.
Oh, the night has been unruly. Where we lay, chimneys were blown down, as they say, lamenting heard in the air, strange screams of death and prophesying, with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events, new hatched to the woeful time. Some say the earth was fervous and did shake.
It was a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror, horror, horror. Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What's happening? What's the matter?
Confusion hath now made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder have broke up the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What is it that you say? The life?
I mean you, His Majesty.
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See, and then speak yourselves.
Oh, let's with haste, Lennox.
Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell. Murder and treason. Banquo, Donalbain, Malcolm, awake! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself.
What's afoot?
Banquo, Banquo, our royal master's murdered.
Murdered? Dear Duff, I prithee, contradict thyself. Say it's not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I'd have lived a blessed time, for from this instant there's nothing serious in mortality, and all is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lease is left of this vault to brag of.
What is this?
You are, and you don't know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
By whom?
Those of the chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were all badgered with blood, and so were the daggers which we found and wiped on their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate, and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love has outrun the pause of reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced in his golden blood, and his gashed stabs look like a breach in nature.
Brother, why do we hold our tongues so that most may claim this argument for us?
What should be spoken here, where our fate, hidden in Ogre Hole, may rush and seize us? Let's away, our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
When we have our naked frailties hid, that suffer in exposure, let us meet to question this most bloody piece of work to know it further.
Yes.
Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
Let's briefly put on our manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Brother, this is stay a while. What will you do? Let's not consult with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. I'll to England.
To Ireland I. Our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers in men's smiles. The nearer in blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse, and let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that theft, which steals itself when there's no mercy left.
Threescore and 10 I can remember well. Within the volume of time I have seen hours dreadful and things strange. But this sore night hath trifled former knowings.
Ah, good father, Thou seest the heavens as troubled with man's act threatens his bloody stage. By the clock 'tis day, and yet dark night strangles the travelling lamp. Is it night's predominance or the day's shame that darkness does the face of the earth entomb when living light should kiss it? Here comes the good Macduff. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Is it known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas, the day, what good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's 2 sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still, thriftless ambition that will raven up thine own lives' means. Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmkill, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin. I'll to Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu. Let our old robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell, father.
God's benison go with you, and with those that would make good of bad, and friends of foes.
Oh, thou hast it now. King, Glamis, Cawdor, all as the weird sisters predicted, and yet I fear thou hast played most foully for it. Yet it was said, should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there be truth come from them, may they not be my oracles as well and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Well, here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it has been as a great gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Oh, I would not miss it for the world.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
We would have else desired your good advice, which still hath been both grave and prosperous in this day's council, but we'll take tomorrow. Is it far you ride?
Only as far, my lord, as 'twill fill up the time twixt this and supper. Go my horse not the better, I should become a dark borrower of the night for an hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
Oh, we hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hearers with strange inventions. But of that tomorrow, when therewithal we shall have the cause of state craving us jointly. Hie you to horse, adieu till you return at night. Goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my lord. Our time does call upon us.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell.
I do.
Let every man be the master of his time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves till supper time alone. Until then, God be with you. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, but without the palace gate.
bring them before me. To be thus is nothing but to be safely thus. Our fears and Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sisters when they first put the name of king upon me, and bade me speak to them. But then prophet-like they hailed him father to a line of kings, and upon my head they placed this fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my grip. Who's there?
Your company, my lord.
Thank you. Now go to the door and stay there until we call. Was it not yesterday we all spoke together?
It was so, please your highness.
Well, then now have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was he in the times past which held you so under fortune, which you have thought was your innocent selves. This I made good to you, and our last conference passed in probation with you. How you were born in hand, how crossed the instrument who wrought with them in all things that might else have made to half a soul into a notion praised. Say, thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did so, and went further, which is now the point of our second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospel to pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world have so incensed. I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
And I another, so weary with disaster, so tugged out with fortune, that I would set my life on any chance to mend it or be rid of it.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
And so he is mine, and in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. And thence it is that I to your assistance do make love, making the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Though our lives.
Your spirits shine through you. Within this hour at most, I will advise you where to plant yourselves, acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time, and the moment for it, because it must be done tonight, and something from the palace. I always thought that I require a clearness, and with him to leave no rubs nor botches in the work. Leon's his son that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than his father's, must also embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide within. Well, it's concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should have indeed died with them they think on? Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scourged the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself whilst our poor malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint, both the worlds suffer. Ere we will eat our meal in fear, and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we, to gain peace, have sent to peace, then on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done its worst, and nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic or foreign levy, nothing can touch him further.
Come on, gentle, my lord. Sleek over your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I, love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence, both in eye and tongue, unsafe the while that we must lave our honors in these unflattering streams, and make our faces vizards to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou know'st that Banquo and his fleance lives.
But in them nature's copies not a turn.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou jocund, ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, and ere to black Hecate summons the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums hath rung night's yawning peal. There shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the deed, my dearest love, until thou applaud this knowledge, but hold thee still. These things that are badly begun, they make themselves strong by ill.
But who did bid thee join with us?
Macbeth?
Needs not our mistrust, since he delivers our offices and what we have to do, the direction dust.
Then stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now, spurs the later traveller apace to gain some timely inn, and near approaches the subject of our watch.
Hark, I hear horses. Somebody get the lights.
Is he? The rest that are within the note of expectation already are in the court.
His horses go about.
Almost a mile, but he does usually, so all men do. From thence to the palace gate, make it their walk.
A light.
'Tis he and the sun together.
Stand to it!
Child, it will be rain tonight.
Let it come down. Ah!
Moira.
Ah! Oh, treachery! Fly, good fleance! Fly! Fly! Oh, thou mayst revenge. Oh, slave!
'Tis done. Hey, who did strike out the light?
'Twas you that said it. Not the wall.
Yeah. There's but one down. The sun is afled.
Oh, we have lost the best half of our affair.
Ah, jeez.
Well, let's away and see how much is done.
You all know your own decrees. Sit down. At first and last, a hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
Thanks to your majesty.
Ourself will mingle with society and play the humble host. Our hostess keeps her state, but in best time we will require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir. To all our friends, for my heart speaks, they are welcome.
See, they encounter thee with their heart's thanks, and both sides are even. Here I'll sit in the midst and be large in mirth, and none will drink a measure the table round. Hark Leave thee, murderer, there's blood on thy face.
His Banquo's then.
Ah, better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Oh, thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good that he did the like for Fleance. If thou didst it, thou art the unparalleled.
Most royal sir, Fleance escaped.
Then comes my fit again. I had else been perfect. But Banquo's safe?
Aye, my good lord. Safe in a ditch, he bides. 20 trenched gashes in his head. The least of death to nature.
Oh, thanks for that. Then the grown serpent lies. The worm that's fled hath nature that in time will venom breed. No teeth for the present. Get thee gone, and tomorrow we'll hear ourselves again.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer. The feast is sold that is often vouched while 'tis making, 'tis given with welcome. To feed or vest at home, from thence the sauce to the meat is ceremony. Meeting were bare without it.
Thou art host to a spirit, saucy Macbeth. Thy deeds are yoked with thy conscience, and an ashen spectre of Banquo dost seat itself at the table.
Oh, Lady Macbeth, sweet remembrancer. Now good digestion wait on appetite and health on both.
May it please your highness sit.
Oh, here had we now our country's honor roofed, were we graced the person of our Banquo present, who may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence lays blame upon his promise. Is it your highness to grace us with your royal company?
Oh, the table's full.
Now, here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is it that moves your highness?
Which of you have done this?
What, my good lord?
Thou cannot say that I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me. Be gone, you tricksy apparition.
Aye, the trick is good. There's blood on thine hands.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you, keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought, again he will be well. If you much note him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which he said led you to Duncan. Shame itself. Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Prithee, see there, behold and look. Lo, how say you, ghost? Why, what care I if thou canst not speak to? If charnel houses and our graves must send those that we bury back, our monument shall be the maws of kites.
Quite unmanned in folly.
If I stand here, I see him.
Fie, for shame.
Blood hath been shed ere now. You know, in the olden time, ere humane statute purged the gentle wheel, and since 2 murders had been performed, too terrible for the ear. The time hath been when brains were out, the man would die, and there were an end. But now they rise again with 20 mortal murders on their crowns and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
Oh, I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all, and then I'll sit down and give me some wine and fill full. I will drink to the general joy of the table and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would he were here. To all and him we thirst, and all to all.
Our duties and the pledge.
Avaunt and quit my sight, ghost. Let the earth hide thee. Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold, and thou hast no speculation in thine eyes, which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom, 'tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of our time.
What man dare, I dare, take any shape but that, and my firm nerve shall never tremble, or be alive again and dare me to my sword with thy sword. Hence, horrible shadow, hence, unreal mockery, hence.
But rest, fair ghost of Banquo. There's an end to it.
Why, so being gone, I find I am man again. Oh, pray you all, sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting, the most admired disorder.
Can such things be and overcome like a summer's cloud, without our even special wonder? You make me strange even to the disposition that I owe, and now I think you can behold such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks when mine is blanched in fear.
What sights, my lord?
I pray you, speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night. And bear health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. And stones have been known to move, and trees to speak. Augurs and understood relations have by maggot pies and chops and rooks brought forth the secretest man of blood. Oh, what is the night?
Almost at odds with morning. Which is which?
How sayest thou that Macduff denies his person at her great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I'll hear it by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them in this house I keep a servant fed. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak, for I am bent to know.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come and will to sleep then. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. You and I, we are but yet young, indeed.
Why, how now, Hecate? You look stangly.
Why not reason, Eldons, as you are, saucy and overbold? How did you dare to trade and traffic in riddles of death? And I, the mistress of your charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never called to bear my part, or show the glory of our art. And which is worse, all you have done have been but for a wayward son, spiteful and wrathful, who, as others do, loves for his own ends, not for you. But Make amends now, and get you gone. At the pit of Acheron, meet me in the morning. Thither he will come to know his destiny. I am for the air. This night I'll spend unto a dismal and fatal end. He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear his hopes above wisdom, grace, and fear. And you know, security is mortal's chiefest enemy. Hark, I am called. My little spirit sits in a foggy cloud and stays for me.
What saith she, sister?
Beldams! She called us Beldams, sister.
Oh, that's not very nice.
No. Come, let's away. She'll soon be back again.
Oh, hey. Got out of bed for this.
My former speeches have but hit your thoughts, which you can interpret farther. Only I say things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth. Marry, he was dead. And the right valiant Banquo walked too late, whom you may say, if it please you, Fleon's killed, for Fleon's fled. Men must not walk too late. Who could not want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and Donalbain to kill their gracious father? Damn the fact how it did grieve Macbeth. Did he not straight, in pious rage, tear the two delinquents who were slave of drink and thrall of sleep? Was that not nobly done? Aye, and wisely too, for it would anger any man alive to hear the men deny it. So that I say, he is born of all things well. I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Sir, can you tell where he bestowed himself?
The son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant holds the Jewish birth, lives in the English court, and is received of the most pious Edward with such grace that the malevolence of fortune nothing takes from his high respect. Thither Macduff is gone to pray Northumberland upon his aid, to wake Northumberland and warlike seaward, that, by the help of these, we may again give to our tables meat, sleep to our nights. And this report has so exasperated the king that he prepares for some attempt of war.
Sent he to Macduff?
He did, and with an absolute sir, not I. The cloudy messenger turns me his back and hums, as who should say, you'll rue the time that clogs me with his answer.
And that might well advise him to a caution hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold his message ere he come, that a blessing will soon return to this our suffering country under a hand accursed.
Send prayers with him.
Valiant viewers, thus concludes Act 1 of Quarantine Shakespeare's Macbeth. We will take a 15-minute interval and the performance shall commence at 10 minutes past 9. We will see you in 15 minutes for Act 2 of Quarantine Shakespeare's Macbeth. Go get your drinks, go have a wee, and meet us back here. Hello, you geese. This is your 5-minute warning until the end of the interval. That's right, that was 5 minutes until Act 2 of Quarantine Shakespeare's Macbeth commences. Finish pouring your wine, finish petting your dog, finish your nervous poo, and meet us back here in 5 minutes for Act 2 of Quarantine Shakespeare's Macbeth. Hey there, all you crazy murderous Scotsmen. It's your director here. There's just 2 minutes left of the interval of Quarantine Shakespeare's Macbeth, after which time we will be commencing with Act 2. Finish your interval activities and meet us back here in around 2 minutes, and the show will commence. This is your 2-minute warning, you pesky little audience. 2 minutes time, we'll be back on your screens. Get in front of it. Valued digital theatre goers, without further ado, I invite you to Act 2 of Quarantine Shakespeare's Macbeth. Please tuck yourselves in, strap yourselves in, keep your arms within the vehicle at all times, and enjoy.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw.
Toad that under cold stone, days and nights has 30 wone. Sweltered venom sleeping got, boiled out first in a charmed pot.
Double, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
Oh, now, you secreted midnight hags, what is it that you do?
Oh, a deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess, however you come to know it. Answer me to what I ask you.
Say if thou'd rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Call them and let me see them.
Pour in sow's blood that hath eaten her 9 farrow. Grease that sweeten from the murderer's gibbet. Throw into the flame.
From high or low, thyself and office deftly show.
Mark, Macbeth, the pallor of this apparition. An armored head parted from its body, too terrible to behold.
Tell me, unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say thou naught.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth. Beware, Macduff. Beware the Thane of Fife. Dismiss me enough.
Whatever thou art, for thou good caution, thanks. Thou hast harped my fear aright, but one word more.
He will not be commanded. He is another, more potent than the first.
A babe, such as thou couldst not get, embalmed in bloody sluice, as from the womb fresh plucked.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff, what need I fear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance double sure and take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, and that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder.
Oh, here comes a child crowned. In hand, a cypress tree for a scepter.
What is this that rises like the issue of a king and wears upon his baby brow the rounded top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be lion mettled, proud, and take no chiefs who frets or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be until great Burnham Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That will never be. Who can impress the forest and bid the tree and unfix his earthbound roots? Sweet Bodeman's good, rebellious dead, rise never till the wood of Burnham rise, and our high-paced Macbeth shall live the lease of nature, pay his breath to time and mortal custom. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me, if your art can tell me so much, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this and an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know. Why sinks that cauldron? And what noise this?
Show!
Show!
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart. Observe, 8 kings in promenade, and at the end of it all, Banquo.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Get down! Thy crown does sear mine eyeballs. And thy hair, thou other golden brow, is like the first. A third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? A fourth. Start, eyes, what will the line stretch out across the crack of doom? Another yet, a 7th, I'll see no more. Yet the 8th appears, who bears a glass which shows me many more, and I see the twofold balls and treble scepters carry. Oh, horrible sight, now I see 'tis true, for the blood of Banquo smiles upon me and points at them for this.
Enough. Be gone, strange visions.
What is this so?
Aye, sir, all this is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazedly?
Come, sisters, cheer we up his sprites and show the best of our delights.
Oh, charm the air to give a sound while you perform your antic round, that this great king may kindly say, our duties did his welcome pay.
Come, witches, let's away.
Where are they? Gone. Let this pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar. Come in without there.
What's your grace's will?
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horses. Who was it that came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that send word. Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my lord.
Time, thou anticipated my dread exploits. The flighty purpose never is overtook, unless the deed go with it. From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. And even now, to crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, and give the edge of the sword to his wife, his babe, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line.
But what had he done to make him fly the land?
You must have patience, madam.
Patience? He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom? To leave his wife? To leave his babes, his titles, his mansion, in a place from whence himself does fly? He loves us not. All is the fear and nothing is the love. So little is the wisdom. Where the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest coz, I pray you school yourself, but for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times where we are traitors and do not know ourselves, where we hold rumour from what we fear, yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea each way and move. I take my leave of you. I shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at the worst will cease or else climb upward to what they were before. My pretty cousin, blessing upon you.
Fathered he is, yet he's fatherless.
I am so much a fool. Should I stay longer, it would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Oh, sirrah, your father's dead. And how will you live? How wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy him to sell again.
Thou speakst with all thy wit, and yet if faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, mother?
Aye, that he was.
And what is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
Be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
Must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Every one.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the lies and the swearers are fools, for there are lies and swearers enough to beat the honest men and hang them up.
Now, God help thee, poor monkey. But how willst thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you would weep for him. If you would not, it were a good sign I should quickly have a new father.
Oh, poor prattler, how thou talkst.
Eh.
Who are you?
Bless you, fair dame. I am not to you known, though in your state of honor, I am perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. If you will take a homely man's advice, be not found here. Hence, with your little ones. Oh, to fright you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse to you were fell cruelty, which is too nigh your person. Oh, heaven preserve you, I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But I remember now I am in this earthly world, where to do harm is often laudable. To do good, sometime accounted dangerous folly. Why then, alas, must I put on that womanly defence to say I have done no harm? Good God, what face is this?
Where is your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou liest, thou shaggy-eared villain.
What? You egg? Young fire treachery, speak no more.
He has killed me, mother. Run away, I pray you.
My son! He's killed my son!
Let us seek some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfall and birthdom. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face that resounds as if it felt with Scotland and yelled out like syllable of dollar.
What I believe, I'll wail. This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me. The wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb. Peace and eye of God.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. And even a good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge. I pray you, that which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose.
I have lost my hopes.
But chance even there, where I did find my doubts. Why in that rawness left you wife and child? Those precious motives, those strong knots of love, without leave taking. But I shall crave your pardon, and let not my jealousies be your dishonours, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Bleed, poor country. I would not be the villain that thou think'st, for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp, and the rich east to boot.
Be not offended. I speak not as in absolute fear of you. I think our poor country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each day a new gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right, and here from gracious England have I offer a goodly 1,000. But for all this, when I shall wear the tyrant's head upon my sword or tread upon it, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer in more sundry ways than ever, by him that shall succeed.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned than evils to talk Macbeth.
With this there grows in my most ill-composed affection, such a stanchless avarice, that were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire this one's house or this other's jewels, and my more having would be as a source to make me hunger more, that I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for their wealth.
This avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than summer seeming lust, and yet it hath been the sword of our slain kings. Yet do not fear, Scotland hath foisons to fill up your will of your mere own. All of these are portable, with other graces weighed.
But I have none. The king becoming graces, I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of each several crime, acting it many ways. Nay, had I power, I would pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, and confound all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland, Scotland!
If such a one be fit to govern, speak, for I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live. O nation miserable, with an untitled tyrant bloody sceptred, when shalt thou see thy wholesome days again? Since that the truest issue of thy throne by his own indirection stands accursed, and does blaspheme his breed. Thy royal father was a most sainted king. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeats upon thyself hath banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast, thy hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honour. Devilish Macbeth, by many of these trains, hath sought to win me into his power. But modest wisdom plucks me from over-credulous haste. My first false speaking was thus upon myself. What I am truly is thine, and my poor country's to command. Whither indeed, before thy hero approached, old Seward with 10,000 men was already setting forth. Now our chance at goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once, it is hard to reconcile. See who comes here.
My countryman, but yet I know him not.
My ever-gentle cousin, welcome hither.
I know him now. Good God, betimes remove the means that makes us strangers.
Amen.
Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where nothing but those who knows nothing is once seen to smile.
Oh, relation too nice and yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
When I came hither to transport the tidings which I have heavily borne, there ran a rumour of many worthy fellows that were out, which was to my belief witnessed rather, for that I saw the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be to their comfort we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us old Seward and 10,000 warlike men. An older and better soldier none that Christendom gives out.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like. Macduff, let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound they ever yet heard.
I guess at it.
Your castle is surprised, your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner whereon the quarry of these murdered deer, to add to the death of you.
Merciful Macduff, ne'er pull your hat upon your brows, but give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak, whispers to the overwrought heart and bids it break.
My children, too.
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
Be comforted. Let us make medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh, hellkite, all! What? All my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop.
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so. But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for thee. Not that I am not for their own demerits, but for mine fell slaughter on their souls.
Be this
Heaven rest them now.
throne of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes and braggart with my tongue. But, gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front, bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length set him. If he scape, heaven forgive him too.
This June grows manly. Come, we go to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may, for the night is long that never finds the day.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Oh, sir, since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw on her nightgown, upon her unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed, yet all this whilst in a most fast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature, to receive at once the benefits of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
Oh, that, sir, which I will not repeat after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Oh, neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her. Stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. She has light by her continually, 'tis her command.
You see her eyes are open.
Aye, but their scents are shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs at her hands.
'Tis an accustomed action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her continue in this a quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks. I will set down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Oh, damn spot out, I say. 1, 2. Then 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie. A soldier and a feared. What need we fear? Who knows it when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? Will all these hands never be clean? No more of that, no more of that, my lord, no more. You are with all this dancing.
Go to. You have known what you should not.
Yes, spoke what she should not. I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
Oh, it's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this hand.
What sigh is there? The heart is surely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well.
Pray God it be, sir.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet, I have known those which have walked in their sleep who have died olily in their beds.
Wash your hands, put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo is buried. He cannot come out of one's grave.
Even so.
To bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds will to their pillows discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. So, good night. My mind she is mated, and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, doctor.
Thus is the hour of conflict. For titles, men do make light work of mortality, and lead their charge to the field on mere precipice of vanity. Such are the follies of men. The English force draws near, led on by Malcolm, his uncle Seward, and the good Macduff. Revenges burn in them, for their dear cause would to the grim and bleeding alarm excite the mortified man. Now does Macbeth feel his secret murders sticking on his hands. Now minutely revolts upbraid his faith breach. Those he commands move only in command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him, like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish fief.
Bring me no more reports, and let them fly all, till Burnham Wood remove to Dunsinane. I cannot taint with fear. Oh, what's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequence have pronounced him. Fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born of woman shall ever have power upon thee. The devil name thee black, thou cream-faced loon. Where goest thou with thy goose-faced look?
There are 10,000
Peace, villain.
Soldiers, sir.
Go prick thy face over red thy fear, thou lily-livered boy. Oh, what soldiers, Patch? Death of thy soul, thy linen cheeks of thine, or counselors to fear? What soldiers are coming, Wayface?
The English force, so please you.
You know, I have lived long enough. My way of life is fallen into the sear, the yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age, as honor, love, obedience, troops of friends. I must not look to have, but in their stead curses, not loud but deep, mouth honor, breath, which the poor heart would fain deny and dare not. Satan!
What's your Grace's pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight until my bones and my flesh are hacked. Give me my armor. Come on.
It's not needed yet.
I'll put it on then, and send out more horses and scur the country round and hang those that talk of fear. Give me mine armor. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord. She is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that? Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased and pluck from a memory a rooted sorrow and raise out the written troubles of the brain? And with some sweet oblivious antidote cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon her heart?
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physic to the dogs, I'll none of it. Come, Satan, and put thine armor on, and give me my staff. Satan, send out. Doctor, thy thanes fly from me. Come, sir, dispatch. Doctor, if thou couldst, cast the water of my land, and find her disease, and purge it to sound in pristine health, I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud again. Pull it off, I say, please. What rhubarb and senna or purgative drug would scour these English hence also? Hearest thou of them?
Aye, my good lord. Your royal preparation makes us hear something.
Well, bring it after me. I will not be afraid of death and bane till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that chambers will be safe.
What wood is this before us?
The wood of Burnham. Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we make discovery ere in report of us.
It shall be done.
No other but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane and will endure our settling down before it.
'Tis his main hope, for where there is advantage to be given, both more or less have given him the revolt, and none serve with him but constrained things whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just senses attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe. Thoughts speculative their unsure hopes relate, but certain issues strokes must arbitrate, towards which advance the war.
Hang out our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still they come. Our castle strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Were they not forced with those that would be ours, we might have heard them, dareful, beard to beard, and beat them backward to home. What is that? What is that noise?
The cry of woman, my lord. I shall attend them.
Oh, I've almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been when my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair would at dismal treatise rouse and stir as if life were in it. But I have supped full with horrors and direness familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot at once startle me. Wherefore was that cry, Satan?
Queen, my lord. It is dead.
Leave me, Satan.
Aye, my lord.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this penny pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the dusty way to death. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound, full of fury, signifying nothing. Thou comes to use thy tongue. Tell thy story quickly.
Gracious my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave.
Let me endure your wrath, if not it be so. Within this 3 mile you may see it coming, I say a moving grove.
If thou speakest false, upon the next tree shall hang thee alive, until famine cling thee. If thy speech be sooth, I care not if thou dost me for as much. I pool in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies the truth. Oh, fear not till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane. And now, oh, what do come to Dunsinane? Arm and arm and arm out. If this is what he avouches does appear, there is no tar, no flying, nor hence. Here I begin to be aweary of the sun and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell. Blow wind. Come rack. At least we'll die with harness on our back.
Now, near enough. Your leafy screens throw down and show like those you are. Seward, worthy uncle, you shall, with my cousin, your right noble son, lead us in our first battle. Macduff and we shall take upon us what else remains to do, according to our order.
Very well. Do we find the tyrant's power tonight? Let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Make all our trumpets speak, give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death.
They have tied me to a stake, and I cannot fly. But bear like I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear, or to none.
What is thy name?
Oh, thou'lt be afraid to hear it.
No, though thou callest thyself a hotter name than any is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No, nor more fearful.
Thou liest, abhorred tyrant. With my sword I'll prove the lie thou speakest.
Oh, I'll slay thee, fiend!
Ah!
Ha! I knew it. Thou art no match. Thou wast born of woman, and swords I smile at, and weapons laugh to scorn. Brandished by man that's of woman born.
That way the noises. Tyrant, show thy face. If thou'st be slain, and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched kerns, whose arms are hired to bear their staves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my sword with an unbattered edge I sheathe again undeeded. There thou shouldst be by this great clatter, one of greatest note seems bruited. Let me find him, fortune, and more I beg not.
This way, my lord. The castle's gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war. The day almost itself professes yours, and little is to do.
We have met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on my own sword? While as I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound, turn.
Ugh. Of all men I have avoided thee. Get thee back. My soul is much too charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice, it is my sword, thou bloodier villain than terms can give thee out.
Oh, thou losest labor, and easy mayst thou of this entrenchant air with thy keen sword and presses make me bleed. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to those of woman born.
Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou hast served tell thee, Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Accursed be that tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man, and these juggling fiends are no more to believe that palter with us in double sense. That keep the word of promise to our ear and break it our hope. I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze all the time. We'll have thee, as our rarer monsters are, painted upon a pole, and under it, here, may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet and be baited with the rabble's curse. Though Burnham would be come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed being of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Before my body I lay on my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and be damned him who first cries, hold, enough!
All is for naught. Thy dastardly deeds, Macbeth, were the root of thy undoing. Slain by Macduff, a kingdom for a life, and a life, and a life. There's an end to it.
I would the friends we miss were safe arrived.
Some must go off, and yet I see by these so great a day as this was cheaply bought.
Macduff is missing, and your noble son.
Your son, my lord, has paid a soldier's debt. He lived only but till he was a man, but like a man, in the unshrinking station where he fought, he died.
Then he is dead?
Aye, and brought off the field. Your cause of sorrow must know no end.
Had he his hurts before?
Aye, on the front.
Why then, God's soldier he be. Had I as many hairs as I have sons, would not wish them to a fairer death, and so his knell is knolled.
Hail, King, for so thou art. Behold, where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. I see the compassed of thy kingdom's pearl, that speak my salutations in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland.
We shall not spend a large expanse of time before we reckon with your several loves and make us even with you. What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, who fled the snares of this watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by self and violent hands took off her life. This, and what needful else, by grace of grace, we shall perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all, and to each one, whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.
Now it's come on, you cast.
Feels weird clapping ourselves.
We just clap for ourselves. Good for us. We deserve it.
Everyone give a bow.
Yeah.
It is very, very strange to end a play without the audience in front of you and to see their reactions and for them to know that the play is done.
It's done.
I've had the most fun 8 weeks putting this play together for you all, and we really, really hope you enjoyed it.
BB-8! No!
Please let us know how you felt, because obviously we can't hear your applause.
It would be awkward if
We know
we
that
live, no
We
one
know
would
that
clap. They would have the exact same reaction.
I can hear it after the 10-second delay.
I can imagine it.
Crickets.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for your attention. We will introduce ourselves to you now very briefly. Eileen, would you like to lead the charge?
Yes, hi, I'm Eileen, and I played your King Macbeth.
Hello, I'm Sarah Q, and I played your crazy queen, Lady Macbeth, and also Murder 3. I forgot who I was playing. I'm so tired.
You're done?
I'm done. For now.
I'm Chris Hawkins, but let's not call me Chris. And I was King Duncan, the second witch, young Macduff, young Seward, a doctor, a servant. I was a lot of people.
Yes, milk it.
I'm Jake Bolton. I was Macduff and witch number 3.
I'm Sarah Lawrence. I was the director, one of the adapters, the producer, and Banquo, and a couple of other fun people in Act 2.
I'm Alex. I was Malcolm. I was murderer number 1, and also a director and producer.
Right.
Honey
I'm
Dog.
Matt. I was Ross, Donalbain, and Seward.
And I'm Erin Amin. I was Hecate, Queen of the Witches, as well as some messengers, some servants, Angus.
Some Angus.
I'm the second Jake. I'm Jake Hughes. I was Lennox, Captain, Satan, and Murderer, Scouse Murderer.
Such stereotyping. Again, thank you so much, audience, for joining us this evening for what is a very, very new foray into theatre. I'm not sure anyone else has really put on a Zoom play yet, especially not Shakespeare. Thank you for supporting and indulging us. This definitely won't be the last you see of us. We're not going to say anything too much, but let's just say that summer is coming. Shall we? And
right.
I think all
Clear your schedules.
we have one more thing we're going to do before we round off. It is the birthday weekend of one of our cast members.
Yeah, you didn't think you were going to get away with it, did you?
Damn.
Who played Ross and a few other noblemen, is turning 30 tomorrow, so we're going to sing happy birthday to him.
Oh god,
live.
we're going to try and sing on Zoom.
You know how out of sync we're going to be, right?
Yeah, this is going to be horrendous.
There's going to be a fucking disaster. Happy birthday.
Maybe let's just all say happy birthday instead.
Happy
Happy birthday to you.
Everyone, please
Thank you.
Birthday.
And all that's left to do is to say, be large in mirth, and we'll drink and measure the table round. Thank you for coming. We will see you soon. We've been Quarantine Shakespeare, and you have been an amazing audience. Ciao for now.
The perfect audience.
Remember the